Hillary is so corrupt.
Okay. Excuse me. Well, I also happen to call him a lightweight, okay, and I have said that, so I would like to take that back. He's really not that much of a lightweight. And as far as, and I have to say this, he hit my hands. Nobody has ever hit my hands. I've never heard of this one. Look at those hands. Are they small hands? And he referred to my hands. If they're small, something else must be small. I guarantee you there's no problem. I guarantee it. All right. Okay. Moving on.
But my tone. You heard the other night at debate. They asked Ted Cruz, serious question, well, what do you think of waterboarding? Is it okay? And honestly, I thought he'd say absolutely, and he didn't. He said, well, it's, you know, he's concerned about the answer because some people, she just said a terrible thing. You know what she said? Shout it out because I don't want to. Okay, you're not allowed to say, and I never expect to hear that from you again. She said, I never expect to hear that from you again. She said he's a pussy. That's terrible. Terrible. $505 billion. We're going to lose that. $505 billion. And by the way, I don't like this mic. Whoever the hell bought this mic system, don't be the son of a bitch to put it in, I'll tell you. These people. No, this mic is terrible. Stupid mic keeps popping. Do you hear that, George? Don't pay him. Don't pay him. You know, I believe in paying. But when somebody does a bad job, like this stupid mic, you shouldn't pay the bastard. Terrible. Terrible. It's true. And you got to be tough with your people because they'll pay. They don't care. They'll pay. So we're not going to pay. I guarantee you I'm not paying for this mic. Every 2 minutes I hear like boom, boom. Anyway, I hope it's okay for you out there, but it really is. Boy, you are real. Look at that. Look up there. It's packed up to the rafters. Man. Holy mackerel.
Well, I want to thank Your Eminence. This is really great to be with you again. We love it. Governor Cuomo, our great senators. Hi, Chuck. He used to love me when I was a Democrat, you know. That they had her on tape, all of a sudden that story changed.
No, that's not true. She says her story has remained exactly the same. She was knocked a little bit off. Can I read this to you then? Yeah, that she was knocked off balance, but she remained standing.
Do you mind if I read you her statement?
Yes, please.
I mean, give me a break. You know, the problem is everybody dumps people when there's like a sign of political incorrectness. I'm just going to read, if I can find it.
She said she was almost knocked off balance, but
she said she was almost knocked off balance. Right, here's what she said. You want to read it or you want me to do it? You're a professional announcer. Why don't you read it? The bottom part. The bottom. Now, that's an exact quote from her prior to seeing the cameras, and now she says, oh, I better change my story, I guess.
This quote says, I was jolted backwards. Someone had grabbed me tightly by the arm and yanked me down. I almost fell to the ground, but was able to maintain my balance nonetheless. I was shaken. Campaign managers aren't supposed to try to forcefully throw reporters to the ground. She did not go down the ground.
No, let me just, okay, before she knows, folks, look, I'm a loyal person. I'm going to be loyal to the country. I'm going to be loyal to Wisconsin. We have to tell it like it is. It would be so easy for me to terminate this man, ruin his life, ruin his family. He's got 4 beautiful children in New Hampshire, ruin his whole everything, and say you're fired, okay? I fired many people, especially in The Apprentice. But look what she says, Michelle Fields, who, by the way, she's not a baby, okay? In her own words, exactly, I was jolted backwards. Well, she wasn't. I mean, she's standing there. Someone had grabbed me tightly by the arm, and yanked me down. She wasn't yanked down. She was like, she didn't even have any expression. If somebody in this audience gets whacked or gets hurt, including me, you get hit a little bit, you go, wow, there's no emotion. Okay, wait a minute. I almost fell to the ground. I almost fell to the ground. She didn't almost fall to the ground. He got in her way. And by the way, she was grabbing me. Am I supposed to press charges against her? Oh, my arm is hurting. Anderson, my arm is just killing me. It's never been the same.
You've suggested you might.
Excuse me. I didn't suggest.
Well, yeah, you did.
I tweeted. No, I tweeted.
Well,
I asked
a tweet
a
is a suggestion.
Should I press charges?
Are you going to?
Sure. I don't know. Maybe I should, right? Because you know what? She was grabbing me. When they put Marco on, to refute President Obama's speech. Do you remember that catastrophe? And he's like this, and we were, I need water, help me, I need water, help. And this is on live television. This total joke artist. It's Rubio. That's what it. Unbelievable. Let me just, he wants to be a tough guy. A lot of times, you'll have, and it doesn't work very well with
How tough is it to take property from an elderly woman?
Let me talk. Quiet.
How tough is it?
A lot of times, that's all of his donors and special interests out there. So, that's what it is. That's what, and by the way, let me just tell you, we needed tickets. You can't get them. You know who has the tickets for I'm talking about to the television audience? Donors, special interests, the people that are putting up the money. So it is. The RNC told us we have all donors in the audience, and the reason they're not loving me, the reason they're not loving me is I don't want their money. I'm going to do the right thing for the American public. I don't want their money. I don't need their money. And I'm the only one up here that can say that. You wouldn't have the Keystone Pipeline that you want so badly without eminent domain.
Exactly.
You wouldn't have massive, excuse me, Josh, you wouldn't have massive factories without eminent domain. What's the difference between a wet raccoon and Donald J. Trump's hair? A wet raccoon doesn't have $7 billion fucking dollars in the bank. Plus by a lot. You know, they say when you do this kind of an event, you always start out with a self-deprecating joke. Some people think this would be tough for me, but the truth is, it's true. The truth is I'm actually a modest person, very modest. It's true. In fact, many people tell me that modesty is perhaps my best quality. Even better than my temperament. But last night they said that was the most vicious debate in the history of politics, presidential debate, the most vicious. And I don't know, are we supposed to be proud of that, or are we supposed to be unhappy? But they did say that, and I'm trying to think back to Lincoln. I don't think they can really compete with that. But the candidates have some lighthearted moments together, which is true. I have no doubt that Hillary is going to laugh quite a bit tonight, sometimes even at an appropriate moment. And even tonight, with all of the heated back and forth between my opponent and me at the debate last night, we have proven that we can actually be civil to each other. In fact, just before taking the dais, Hillary accidentally bumped into me, and she very civilly said, "Pardon me." And I very politely replied, "Let me talk to you about that after I get into office." And, you know, we have some low-energy people. They're really low. I'm not going to say Jeb is low energy, but he's pretty low. Who would you rather have negotiate with Iran, Trump or Jeb? How about this? Trump or Hillary? So Uma now,
is one of the people that it all sort of came through Uma. Who is Uma married to? One of the great sleazebags of our time. Anthony Weiner. Did you know that? She's married to Anthony Weiner. You know, the little bing, 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 bum, bum. I love you very much. So, no, think of it. So Uma is getting classified secrets. She's married to Anthony Weiner, who's a perv. No, he is. He is. Turned out that he was a really bad guy. So she's married to Anthony Weiner. Do you think there's even a 5% chance that she's not telling Anthony Weiner, now of a public relations firm, what the hell is coming across? Do you think there's even a little bit of a chance? I don't think so. Are there any women in this room who are in love with their husbands who wouldn't be telling them everything? You would or wouldn't? No, she said, I wouldn't, but I'm in love. No, you will. Isn't it nice when you don't read from a speech? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being here. Or Hillary with the teleprompters every single time. And whether you go north and south or east and west, Donald Trump is a bad person. Donald Trump made a lot of money in Atlantic City, but he hurt the little people. She calls it the little people. He hurt the little people. He didn't. Their lives have been destroyed for doing 1/5 of what you've done, and it's a disgrace. And honestly, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Secretary Clinton, I want to follow up on that. I'm going to let you talk about emails.
Because everything he just said is absolutely false, but I'm not surprised. Really? In the first debate...
And the audience needs to calm down here.
I told people that it would be impossible